Hi, is your stepchild refusing to meet you? Subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell, and I'll let you know every time I post. Many stepchildren refuse or do not want to, and therefore don't, meet their step-parents. And whilst this can be hugely disappointing for the parent of the child who's got a partner that they want to introduce their children to, but also for the step-parent to not even be given a chance. Often the step-parent and their partner are sort of full of hopes for what the relationship could be, if only. If only. But what is really going on here is that the stepchild isn't really taking issue with you or your personality. They don't know you. The stepchild is really making a stand about something else. It's not at all about you, the step-parent. And here I'll put in a word for the stepchild. Be that person an adult or somebody in their late teens who are really grown-ups, so can't really be described as children at all. But they have an issue, a big issue, with something that's gone on before. And it is difficult being a stepchild when things happen to you in your younger years that you feel influence you detrimentally. It's jolly difficult to get over those kinds of collapses or disappointments, or where you were expecting one thing and then something else happens. Now, I'm not saying that the stepchild is right or that they have the entitlement to have had things go a particular way or for their expectations to have been met, or whatever they consider should have been reasonable to expect didn't happen and therefore it was totally unreasonable. But there's something in there with the stepchild that is preventing them from accepting their parent has moved on. And in a way, the stepchild wants to get their own back and take it out on their parent. They want to get some retribution. They don't feel as though possibly the parent has acknowledged what a bad effect something that's happened in the past has had on them, the stepchild. And not a stepchild. These people are adults, and you can be thinking, well, they should be able to get over it. I mean, it wasn't that bad. They're doing okay now, or whatever. You can say whatever you like. But when this situation exists, the fact of the matter is that the step adult, because they're not a child, has taken exception and is making a stand. It does show you how badly the step adult feels about something that's gone on in the past. There's real resentment there. Now the question is, what can you do about it? Well, you're in a situation where in a relationship, it takes two. So you wanting to have a relationship is not enough. They have to want a relationship too. You can't demand or insist on a relationship. So if they're not prepared to have a relationship and not meet you, that for the moment is the final word. One of the things you can do is to help them by acknowledging that fact, because then they will feel heard and they will feel as though their parent, your partner, is respecting their wishes. And that's quite often at the heart of quite a lot of this angst and hurt, is that somewhere back along the line, their wishes or wants got overlooked and stuff happened and they resent it now. So even by acknowledging that they don't want to meet you and respecting that goes some way towards giving them something back. And then the challenge is to keep an open mind and an open heart. And this can take a while. It can take years. But life has a way of twisting and turning. And whilst the situation might be as it is now, they may, in time, I don't know, get married and divorced, and then they understand your situation better. Or not even that. They can go into their adult life and begin to realize that relationships aren't easy and they can fall apart. And sometimes that can't be helped. And people try and do their best, but sometimes it's not always possible to do it without fault or hurt involving someone. If you keep an open heart and an open mind, that's the second biggest gift you can give them. What you don't want is to say, well, they haven't met me for X number of years, so I'm not interested in meeting them now. You can say that, but that's not really as helpful as it could be. Next step is to have a look around and see what the family consists of. Maybe the adult child that's not meeting you has brothers and sisters, and maybe you get on with them, but some of them better than others. And develop the relationships round the step family so you can have a rewarding relationship with those that want a rewarding relationship. And this can be infectious because those family members may talk to the family member that is refusing to meet you, and what comes next is that they may become more understanding and more receptive to meet you once they've got to learn about you from other people. Next step is to think of little acts of kindness. I'm not talking about being generous when it's not reciprocated, giving presents for which you never get thanks. But there may be things that you can offer or do. I know you have no contact, so it's very difficult this, but you'll know about them. And sometimes you can offer to have a relationship not based on them coming to meet you because you're the new partner of their parent, but coming to meet you because you're prepared to, in your professional life, you've been a something or other, and that can help them do something in their life. I don't know, but go to places where you can do something for them and be useful to them rather than just expect them to host you and them turn up on time while you host them. Rather than just sort of that kind of a relationship, see if you can't build in something where you're able to offer something. It's difficult, I know. But the key to this, and it is sad, because you do want a relationship with your partner's children, if at all possible. And this isn't a happy situation when they're not even prepared to give you a chance or to meet you. But there's nothing you can do about that. Nothing. So you just have to keep an open heart, an open mind, meet the people that are prepared to meet you, and hopefully in time, as life happens, to them as well as you, things can change. Then it'll depend on how receptive to that you can still be. It's not a great solution, this, but I don't know another. We run workshops, sessions, an email response service, and we write booklets. Look at our description box below for links to our website and social media.